So, inside current affairs, July month. So, first question, consider the following statements. According to the 2011 census, India has around 125 million people with disabilities. So, it is correct or wrong? Second, the Election Commission had this year declared accessible election as the theme for the National Voters Day. So, here two is the correct. The Election Commission had this year declared accessible election as the theme for the National Voters Day. And 2011 census, India has around 125 million people with disabilities. It's not correct. And now we discuss it. The Election Commission will launch a voter education and electoral participation portal on July 3 with a section dedicated to the person with disabilities (PWD) in the backdrop of two-day national consultation program on issue pertaining or to their inclusion in the poll process. The program on inclusion of persons with disabilities (PWD) in the electoral process is being organized with a view to come up with a national policy on the issue. According to the 2011 census, India has around 70 million people with disabilities, and 70 million, not 125 million. So, under the Election Commission strategy 2016 to 2025, greater participation of PWD in the electoral process has been identified as one of the core objectives. As part of the initiative, the Election Commission had this year declared accessible election as the theme for National Voters Day, observed January 25. Second question, consider the following statements about recently launched Krishi Kalyan Abhiyan. So, Krishi Kalyan Abhiyan, it will be undertaken in some villages located only in aspirational district. It's correct. And second, it will run till farmers' income are doubled. Not, it is not correct. And the overall coordination and implementation of the action plans for each district will be the responsibility of Niti Aayog. It's not correct. The Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, line with the Prime Minister's vision of doubling farmers' income by 2022, launched the Krishi Kalyan Abhiyan from 1st June and 1st June to 31st July 2018. So, as the aid, assist and advise farmers on how to improve their farming techniques and raise their incomes. Krishi Kalyan Abhiyan will be undertaken in 25 villages with more than 1,000 people population, and each in aspirational district identified in consultation with the Ministry of Rural Development and as for elections of Niti Aayog. In districts where number of villages is less than 25, all villages will be covered. An action plan comprising specifically identified activities under various agricultural departments will be implemented to saturate theme 25 villages in each district with these activities. The overall coordination and implementation of in the 25 villages of a district is being done by Krishi Vigyan Kendra of that district. 111 officers have also been made in charge of one district, each for overall coordination and field level monitoring. And these officers have been selected from subordinate attached and autonomous organization PSU etc. of Ministry of Agriculture and Farmer Welfare. Consider the following statements. The first option, Port Blair is one of the cities selected by the Government of India under the Smart City Mission. It's correct. Second is the Island Development Agency is chaired by the Cabinet Secretary and includes as a member of the Lieutenant Governor of Andaman and Nicobar Islands. So for Port Blair is the city selected by the Government of India under the Smart City Mission. It's correct. And second, the Island Development Agency is chaired by the Cabinet Secretary and includes or as a member of the Lieutenant Governor of Andaman and Nicobar. It's not correct. So the Island Development Agency is chaired by the Home Minister, not Cabinet Ministry. So Home Minister. The Cabinet Ministry, Lieutenant Governor, Andaman and Nicobar Islands and Administration of Lakshadweep Island attends these meetings. Making Cities Resilient campaign was launched in 2020 by UNISDR. Throughout 2020 to 2010 to 2020 and beyond, the UNISDR Making Cities Resilient campaign together with partners aim to support sustainable and urban development by promoting resilience activities and increasing local level understanding of disaster risk. A 10-point checklist of essentials for making cities resilient serves as a guide for a city's commitment towards improving their resilience and is organizing principles for reporting the monitoring during the campaign. Next question. Consider the following statement about institution of eminence (IOE) scheme. Institution of eminence scheme. Each institution selected as LOE IOE to get finance assist of 1000 crore. It's not correct for 5 years. Not correct. The aim of this scheme is to bring higher education institution selected as institution of eminence is in top 500 of world ranking in the next 5 years. It's not correct. The aim of the scheme is to bring higher education institution, both public and private sector as IOE in top 500 of world ranking in the next 10 years. In the top eventually over time, the scheme has been launched as an objective to provide world-class teaching and research facilities to Indian students and within the country and enhance general level of education of the country. Each public institution selected as institution of eminence will get financial assistance up to 1000 crore. So over the period of 5 years, each public institution selected and not private. So under this scheme, institution of eminence will have freedom to choose their own path to become world-class institution. Institution shall be selected as IOE by the empowered expert committee is constituted for this purpose. EC shall conduct the appraisal based on their 15-year strategic vision plan and 5 years implementation, as well as any other measure of demonstrated commitment to the cause of developing as IOE. Consider the following statements. Under the Blue Revolution scheme, central financial assistance for deep sea fishing can be availed of the total fish production in India. The larger share is registered from the inland fisheries sector. So both are correct. So fish production in India, 11 point estimated is estimated 11.4 million tons, out of which 68% is registered from the islands fisheries sector and remaining to 32% from marine sector. It is expected that the indigenous fish requirement by 2020 world would be with the 15 million tons as against the production of 11.4 million tons. This gap is of 3.62 million ton is expected to be made up by the inland aquaculture and also through mariculture. The Start of India Yatra is an initiative that is related to the search for entrepreneurial talent in Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities. Start of India. So, and the Startup Yatra have covered the states of Gujarat, Uttar Pradesh, Odisha, which where more than 18,000 young entrepreneurs were supported through membership of Startup Yatra. Uttarakhand has recently been started. So, with which of the one of the following states central legislation is Mission Birubala and Project Prohari closely related. So, which one of the following states central legislation is Mission Birubala and Project Prohari closely related? It is the Assam's with Hunting Prohibition and Prevention Protection Act 2015, not Maharashtra, not the protection of Manipur people, not Arunachal. So it is Assam. Project Prohari. It is related. Okay. Complete now our today's session and our last question. The Pradhan Mantri Jan Vikas Karyakaram PMJVK refers to the restructured multi-sector development program what makes the PMJVK different from MSDP, because towns which are found to be backward in terms of their both in terms of either or both parameters, basic amenities and socioeconomic indicators will be taken up as minority celebrations concentration towns. Towns which are found to be backward in terms of either or both parameters, basic amenities and socioeconomic indicators will be taken taken up as minority concentration towns. So which is the correct answer? So Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs declared recently approved the personal proposal for renaming and restructuring of MSTP and PMJVK. The CCEA also approved its continuation during the remaining period of the 14th Finance Commission. The criteria for identification minority concentration towns clusters of villages have been rationalized by lowering the population percentage criteria of minority communities and fulfill backwardness parameter of the following manners. For MCT, refers statement 2. Correct statement 1. By either earlier close only the cluster of villages which were having at least 50% population of minority community were taken. Now the population criteria has been lowered as to 25%. Additional information, the program aims to address development deficits in the identified minority concentration area, and the identification of minority concentration areas has been done on the basis of presence of substantial population of notified minority communities, Sikhs, Muslims, and Christians, Zoroastrians, for these and gens based on census 2011. The area to be covered under PMJVK would be 57% more as compared to the existing MSDP. The MSDP covered 196 districts of the country, whereas PMJVK will cover 308 districts of the country. 80% of the resources under the PMJVK would be earmarked for projects related to education, health and skill development. 33 to 40% resources under the PMJVK would be specifically allocated for women-centric projects. A provision to bring all implementing agencies under the PM Public Finance Management System (PFMS) and its effective which ensured to monitor fund utilization has been made in PMJVK. So it is centrally sponsored scheme which was constituted by Niti Aayog. And Sagar Shiksha obviously scheme sub schemes subsumes Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan Samagra Shiksha schemes. It is subsumes Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan and Rashtriya Madhyamik Shiksha Abhiyan and teacher education. So Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan it is related to Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan, Rashtriya Madhyamik Shiksha Abhiyan, teacher education. So Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan it is an overreaching program for the school education sector, extending school education sector and extending from preschool to class 12 has been therefore prepared with the broader goal of improving school effectiveness measured in terms of equal opportunities for schooling and equitable learning outcomes. It subsumes the three schemes of Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan like Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan and Rashtriya Madhyamik Shiksha Abhiyan and teacher education. The main objectives of the scheme are the provision of quality education through and enhancing learning outcomes for students and bridging social and gender gaps in schools education and ensuring equality and inclusion at all levels of school education, ensuring minimum standards in school provision and promoting vocationalization of education, support states in implementation of right to children to the Free and Compulsory Education Act 2009 and strengthening and upgradation of SCERT state institution education and diet as nodal agencies for teacher training. So thank you.